So you've got an old building like this and the door is starting to sag a little bit. Maybe it's rubbing on the bottom or the side. It's just not closing right, not closing like it used to.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to fix this for about $15 and 15 minutes of your time. Super quick and easy. So what we're going to use is an anti-sag gate kit. I got this one at Lowe's, but if you don't have a Lowe's near you, or if there's a different hardware store that you prefer, then I'm sure you can find one of these at Home Depot or any other store. This one was $15 at Lowe's, but any of them will work. So let me explain what this kit is going to do. So your shed door is made out of wood with these wood support structures. And over time, through the hot and the cold and the moist and the dry, this wood is going to contract and expand. And so when this was first assembled, it was nice and tight and compact, but it has since expanded and drooped. So for example, if you take a look at the joints on my door, you see how there's big old cracks through here, big gaps in the joints. That's just where the door has expanded and settled, and now it's sagging to this side. So what this gate kit is going to do, we're going to use a wire to add some tension to the door and draw it back together. A lot of modern higher end sheds will already have these anti-sag tensioners installed. If we take a look in this other shed that I have, you can see they have one going there and going there. Now this is not a guaranteed fix for every door because, as you can see, mine has bigger issues. My shed is 15, 20 years old at this point, and honestly all of this wood needs to be replaced. You can see with mine, the hinges themselves have tilted, rotated, they're sagging, just because this old soft wood is not like it used to be. So for my shed, I'm probably going to have to replace this wood, reset the hinges, rehang the door. But this anti-sag gate kit is still a good first step. It might not completely fix my door, but it's still going to help a lot. And so whenever I do have to rehang my door, the door is going to be nice and compact and set how it should. So even if your door is super far gone like mine is, I still recommend installing one of these, and it's going to put you in the right direction. So all you really need to install one of these kits is an adjustable wrench, a drill, which is honestly optional, but if you just want to be careful and make sure you don't crack the wood here, then I would get a drill to drill some pilot holes, and of course a screw gun or even just a screwdriver, but I'm lazy, so I'm going to have technology do it for me. So we're going to start by installing these clamps on opposing corners of the door. Then we're going to run the wire from one clamp to the other. And we have this tensioner so that we can tighten the wire. Now, it helps if you have a pencil so you can mark your pilot holes and then drill them. But I forgot to bring one out here with me, so I'm just going to use a little bracket here as a guide and just drill through the holes. But if you want to mark these with a pencil, that'd be easier. All right, now that that's done, we can screw the bracket into the door. All right, that one's on there. That's installed. Two in the side and two in the bottom. And now we're going to install the other one on the opposing top corner. All right, now we can hook this little tensioner into the top corner bracket. All right, now we can take the tension wire here, put your loop side up at the top, and then the bottom is designed so that it can fit any size door. Okay, so the way we're going to customize our length to fit our door is using these little wire clamps. I know it's kind of hard to see because they're so little, but basically you're going to thread the bottom of your wire through both of these clamps, like so, just like that, and then thread the bottom through the bracket in the corner, just like that, and then pull it tight. It doesn't have to be overly tight because obviously we're going to tighten it with the tensioner up there in a second, but go ahead and get it pretty snug, and then loop your wire back around on itself, and then thread your end back through the little clamps. Now, while you're pulling that, keeping it snug, you can tighten up these little clamps with your fingers. Make sure before you pull your wire tight down there that you still have some threads showing in your tensioner up here. So that way you have room to tighten it more and get it really snug. Because if these are already maxed out at the maximum tightness, then you're not going to be able to do anything up here. So make sure you got some threads showing. There we go. So that's what the little wire clamps look like. I probably could have placed them a little bit higher so I don't have this flopping around. Probably should have tightened it like right there, but it's okay. All right, tightened them up with a little wrench, and I definitely recommend doing that because they were looser than I thought they were just from hand tightening. So here's what the setup looks like, going from that corner to that corner, and now we're ready to tighten up the tensioner. All right, that's about all I can do by hand, so I'm gonna go in with the wrench now. So there we go. I believe it said if you don't have an adjustable wrench like me, pretty sure the packaging said to use a 7/16 for this. If you don't have an adjustable wrench, what are you doing, man? Get an adjustable wrench. In fact, get like 8 adjustable wrenches. You need to have one for at least every room in your house. Just so if you lose one, you always know where another one is. All right, that's getting pretty snug. You're going to hear your door popping and creaking a little bit, and that's a good thing. It needs to. Oh, yeah, that's getting tight now. I need to get it just a little bit tighter, and I can't hold on to this hook anymore with my hand to keep it from spinning. So I'm actually going to go get another adjustable wrench, and so that way I can have one at the bottom and one to tighten with. All right, I'm back. Got 2 adjustable wrenches now. If you take anything away from this video, you need to go buy more adjustable wrenches. All right. That is all she wrote. That thing is tight. So now let's see if it improves my door at all. Let's try it out. Whoa, that's way better. Nice. I can definitely tell it's not rubbing on the bottom anymore. It certainly picked up the bottom a little bit. Got a nice clean shut there on the bottom. As I predicted, it didn't completely fix it. It is still sagging a little bit too much. That even this anti-sag kit couldn't fix it. So like I said, this wood just really needs to be replaced. There is one more thing we can do that I recommend you do. Make sure all your screws are tightened. That could be causing issues. So I'm going to tighten up my screws real quick. All right, every single screw was pretty loose. So still is not going to fix it, but I do think it's another step in the right direction. Take a look. Yeah, it's definitely better than it was, but you can still see how the hinges are just rotated. All right, so here we are like 2 weeks later, and I've made 2 changes that have completely fixed my shed door. Let's talk about it. So the first change I made is to switch the corners that I put the anti-sag kit on. It was going from that corner to that corner. Now it's going from this corner to this corner. And that fixed it a lot. I was looking at the door straight on like this, and I realized that this corner up here was kind of bowed out that way. And so I realized I needed to draw it together from these 2 corners. That was a huge improvement. The other thing I did is replace that old rotten wood that I showed earlier. It was just crumbling, falling apart. Whenever I was prying it off, it was just breaking into pieces. So that definitely had to go. I also replaced the hinges. I think the old hinges were fine. I just wanted to put some new ones on there. So with those 2 adjustments, take a look at this. Perfect. There's no gaps. I still got to replace this piece of wood and the one down at the bottom to fix those 2 gaps. But the door shuts perfectly now. No rubbing, no scrubbing. It's a perfect fit. That's going to be it for today. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you subscribe for more DIY projects like this, and also some completely unrelated fun things that I do, like camera reviews, tech reviews, that kind of stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.